Hey everyone, we'll just give it a little bit of time for people to funnel in here, and then we will get started.
Hello, is this working
Hello,
now?
John. Sure
Hey,
is.
TJ.
See hands raised already. I love Tuesdays. Hey EverRise King. Hey Jason. Hey everybody. I see tons of familiar faces, which I love. Super glad that everyone joins us every week. We'll give it about 3 more minutes and we'll get started.
Sounds good.
Hey guys, can you hear me all right?
Hey Was. Yes, sir.
Everyone doing good?
Amazing as always. And yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I had a couple of friends DM me earlier today and call me today saying, "Man, I've been waiting for a dip to buy some Rise after I FOMO'd in and finally got my dip."
Yes, that was the time.
Yeah, man.
Hey
But yeah,
guys,
there was a lot. Hey, how are you?
Hey Alex.
just testing my mic. So once again, just like last week or whenever it was 2 weeks ago, I'm once again walking my dog. But if there is a question specifically for me, I'll take it. But otherwise, I might wait until I get back home, which will be in like 5 minutes. But yeah, there is a dog walking that's occurring right now.
I can't wait to meet your dog. I feel like you spoil your dog so much. I just feel like I need to meet the dog in person. So,
My dog is actually extremely well trained. He's like the reason I'm able to do this is because I can walk him off the lead in a big city. So right now we're just like walking along, and he's just kind of walking next to me, and there's no lead or anything. So he's not a spoiled dog. It's just that this AMA is always at precisely the time that he needs to go out. So like I try to, if I take him out early, then he won't go. If I try to take him too late, then it's like, or like later than this, then it's like he can be pretty insistent basically when he needs to go out. So anyway, like I don't want this to turn into an AMA about my dog, but it's but this is like a genuine
So,
issue I have with this specific timing. But anyway,
so
so
what type of dog is your dog?
he's a he's a Labrador. He's an English Labrador. One of the ones like in Marley and Me, like one of the hyperactive ones. And yeah, he's a good dog. His name is Pepper. He's a very good boy. Yeah, so ask me anything. No, no, but
I love it. I love it. All right, guys, it's 2:05 almost, so we'll get started. Jen, did you have anything to say before we take questions? I know you kind of wanted to go over some high level stuff.
yeah, I did want to give a high level marketing update, especially as we're approaching migration. And now is the time to kind of give you guys a little bit of insight into what we've been working on behind the scenes. Um, so the really funny thing, and I'll share this, is yesterday was my 1 month anniversary at EverRise, and it's really it well, it's crazy. That's only like 4 weeks, but it feels like, we've been working on this thing for years, and it always just shocks me how crypto kind of manipulates time, and time just moves differently in this space. Um, but I have some fun news for you guys. So, as many of you know, and if you don't know, we have an email newsletter that we're starting to do. When I first came on board in this position, we had just like launched I think our third website, and we added in a little form for people, to add their email so we can just casually start collecting them. That growth grew really stagnant around 500 email subscribers. And what's really interesting to me is in the past 2 weeks, we've tripled the amount of email subscribers we have through completely organic means. We sent our first email newsletter last Friday, and I'm really, really just impressed with the stats that we're getting back. So, a little fun fact for you guys, the average email open rate across all industries is about 16%. In the technology and software services category, the average open rate is about 14%. Our email on Friday, when I looked yesterday, had a 44% open rate as well as a 10% click-through rate. This is insane stats to have, and I know our sample size is a little smaller compared to, larger email lists, but it's just really indicative of people are interested in the content there. So moving forward, we'll be turning up the email marketing and making it one of the primary marketing one of the primary marketing verticals moving forward, which is really awesome. We have been prepping our ad campaigns. So the way we're going to run ads is going to be two-pronged. We're still in a stage where EverRise really needs to focus on awareness. And as you guys have seen, there's a ton of projects coming onto EverOwn, and we're generally seeing a massive uptick in people becoming really familiar with our project, not only in the Binance space, but outside of that. So what we'll be focused on starting on the 23rd is we'll be running ads promoting our V2 launch on November 29th. I intentionally set this to be once trading stopped because we need to start drawing attention to the V2 contract. There's a lot of talks how V1 is essentially the pre-sale for V2, and you guys are all early and you're here, and congratulations. But really, for me, it's going to be putting a lot more attention on our V2 launch for people who don't know about the project yet or have not been invested. So these ads will run on, I think right now we have 4 different platforms, just in terms of where we see high frequency DeFi traders. And then we're going to be doing some other media ads on other sites. Once V2 launches, we'll pivot our paid ad strategy to focus on the token. And then once we see how V2 launch goes, the data that comes back from the targeted ads that we've done will at that point decide if it's the right time to begin doing individual ad campaigns for our dApps. The team is also working on ways that we can begin advertising on Twitter and YouTube and Reddit around V2 specifically. Originally, the plan was to hit social ads once we opened up our bridge and had, the native token transfers on the bridge, but it's more important to us that we make sure that V2 goes smoothly. So we're looking at some, I would call them slight loophole ways of how to raise awareness via paid means on Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit. So that's really exciting. Of course, we're building out an influencer campaign. I'm currently working with a couple of different agencies to pitch and negotiate and attempt to secure at least 1 to 2 tier 1 influencers. I want to be really clear that, I'm not promising that this is going to happen. As I've mentioned before, when it comes to working with these larger influencers, the vetting process is just much longer. Some of them go completely offline. There's a massive holiday season coming up in the US, and, everyone's off in their own world, but we started reaching out about 2 weeks ago, and we're hoping to secure and lock them for after V2 launches. In addition to, attempting to secure some tier 1 influencers, we also have built out a micro influencer strategy that we'll be implementing across YouTube as well as Twitter. One of the other platforms that will also be implementing an influencer strategy is Instagram. Our Instagram, we're starting to implement just a typical social strategy on Instagram, and we'll be amplifying that over the next coming weeks. So you're going to see massive growth, hopefully across all of our social platforms, which is really exciting. I've talked a lot before about a new website coming, and I was actually poking around the test site last night, and it looks really, really amazing, guys. We're going to the tentative launch date for our new site right now is on the 23rd. It's really important to me that we launch this in tandem when we start our V2 ad awareness campaign. A lot of people, outside of Telegram, outside of crypto, their first exposure to a project is a website. And, our website's pretty good right now, but the new website that we've been building is incredibly robust. I think you guys are all going to be really pleased and happy with it. I think it's a site that actually reflects the quality of the products that we're creating, and it has all of our updated branding. So that's really great. I just want to take a quick moment to give a huge shout out to Storm and the entire web development team. I really do think that this will be one of the best websites in DeFi. And, we've said it before, we're an altcoin and we're going to be a top 10 altcoin in the years to come. And this website is completely reflective of that. The other thing with regards to the site is, right now we're still setting up a lot of things such as like optimizing the page loading speeds, setting up our technical and content SEO funnels, as well as all the backlinks and tracking. We're also once the new site, we'll also be working to increase our domain authority and backlinks and increase our organic search traffic. So we've been working on strategies around that. A couple other things. Sorry, I'm just going down through my laundry list, so I know this is taking a little bit of time. I wanted to share with everyone that I'm really excited to announce that we've finalized a programming deal with Benzinga. I don't know if you guys remember, a couple of weeks ago, we hosted a little Twitter Spaces with them called DeFi Talks, and we were all really excited at how well that did, and we are now going to make it into a regular occurring bi-weekly show. The next DeFi Benzinga Talks will be this coming Thursday, and then every other Thursday after this Thursday, which is awesome. I don't know if you guys have noticed or have taken a look at our Twitter, but we do have a massive giveaway coming up. We'll be releasing the full details of this giveaway on Friday, and I just want to give you guys a heads up that in order to participate, you will need to be a Rise V2 holder. The really exciting thing for me about this giveaway is it's one that we should be able to support with a paid marketing campaign to ensure the furthest reach and visibility. So if you haven't already, sign up for our email list. We'll be sharing the details on the email list first, and then we'll be announcing it via all of our social channels after. Some other things that the marketing team has been working on that is a little bit more behind the scenes and you guys may not see until we actually start migration, but we are coming close on completing our white paper. We have drafted all of our V2 related announcements. We're currently working on the migration guides and videos, as well as staking guides and videos. We're going to be doing a little bit more work around the EverOwn promo that's happening right now and creating some EverRise branded gifts. I see, in the chat, we all love a good gift party, and on Twitter, who doesn't like a nice gift to accompany a tweet? So I'm excited to be bringing that to you guys. Looking ahead after V2, one of the biggest things that I really want to do is expand our content library. Content is king no matter where you go, whether it's for storytelling, advertising, branding. The more content you have, the better. And it's really important that that content and the quality of that content reflects the quality of the brand. So some of the content things that I'll be looking to implement after V2 is looking at multiple short digital content series on YouTube that you guys will be able to share with your friends who are in DeFi and your friends who are unfamiliar with DeFi. I think this is going to be a huge educational piece for us. And that's just some of the ideas of things that are coming. But yeah, that's kind of the overarching super high level marketing update, and just wanted to share all that information with you guys, especially before we go to V2.
That is amazing, Jen.
Well said, Jen. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm on the team and I know all of this, and just hearing you say it is just honestly really, really amazing and very reassuring that, we're going to have a successful V2 launch. From a BD perspective, I'll throw in a couple notes. I'm sure there'll be questions about like exchanges and partnerships and things of that sort. So as I said on previous AMAs, we are talking to several exchanges. Some of them have fiat on-ramps. Some of them have massive communities. Some of them own, main nets. And we are continuing to provide all of the information regarding our V2 launch. Imagine many of the exchanges, they want to know what your smart contract is, and ours isn't out yet, and it's still at the final stages of its audit with CerTic. So in terms of exchanges, we will likely be going on an exchange after V2 launch. At this moment, I don't really see us being on a centralized exchange at the day of launch. There is a very strong possibility that there will be and can be an announcement of an exchange around V2 launch, possibly even the same day, but being listed on an exchange, trading live at the same time as all three chains, I don't really see that happening at this moment. As far as partnerships, we mentioned that we had, two billion plus market cap partnerships. Those are still here, as well as several other partnerships that we are discussing now at the final stages. Some of these include smaller blockchains, I'll say, than maybe like BSC, Polygon, or ETH. And some of these are large projects of significant market cap that are interested in our products. I've gotten a lot of DMs asking me, what does a partnership mean? So I wanted to be very specific in classifying what I believe a partnership is. It's either someone that's using our products, or it could be like a mainnet, like a Ethereum, for example, that co-markets us or promotes us upon day of launch as coming into their ecosystem. Sure, you guys have seen we've had a significant amount of EverRise projects onboarding. I expect that to continue between now and the end of V2 launch. We are talking to several projects that are interested about getting on to EverBridge. Some of these projects have current bridging services that they're displeased with. Others have no bridging provider and are interested in moving from one chain to another to expand their ecosystem. We have had, I'll say, less than a handful of projects that have reached out about migration. Word is slowly traveling about our EverMigrate tool that we're expecting to launch shortly after V2. I was definitely very pleasantly surprised that we have very organic, I call these like organic leads, right? They come to us organically. Someone hears of our product and they reach out without really any marketing or anyone from the business development team pushing. So I was really happy to hear about that. And then I guess the last thing I'll say is I said it like one line of it. Our CerTic audit is at its final stages now. We received the preliminary report, as we mentioned, I believe it was like 1 or 2 weeks ago. I think it was last week. The Suresh and the team replied back to the preliminary report, addressed all of the comments, and now we're waiting back for the what I call the pre-final report, where they'll show us their response to our comments. We'll have another roundtable discussion, and then we'll go back to them with hopefully our final comments. So we're hoping that this will be wrapped up in like the next, I don't know, maybe the next 2 days tops. But yeah, those are the updates from business development now. And I don't know if there was anything Guard or TJ wanted to add, but I think we've been talking for a little bit. Probably a good time to start taking some questions.
Yeah, before we start taking questions, I'll just add, I'm sure you guys have seen, but we've increased reflections to 11%. and you should be seeing those reflected in your wallets. I'm personally loving it. I think it's great. Titan made that decision late last night, and everyone seems pretty pleased with it. So a few extra days with 11% reflections to kick off the start of V2. So we're really excited. With that said, we can open the floor to questions. So Joey, I'll add you as a speaker. So as soon as you connect, feel free to unmute your mic and ask away.
Thank you guys for calling on me. Yeah, a couple AMAs ago, it was wrapped up with Wasso mentioning bringing utility to NFTs and potential plans being mentioned within the coming weeks. Other than possibly the giveaway, is there anything else that was going to be announced? Maybe something about an NFT or even metaverse presence?
So at this specific moment, we're not ready to comment on the NFT utility. I think there will be an announcement regarding EverRise and NFTs before the V2 launch, which is again on November 29th. Sorry, I cut out a little bit. I got a phone call, but I was saying give us another 2 weeks regarding NFTs.
Right.
Yeah, right now the big focus is making sure V2 launches butter smooth. We want to make sure that all our I's are dotted, all our T's are crossed. Once we have V2 up and running, then we can explore other options. But I mean, the main focus for us right now, especially looking after our investors, is to make sure that everything goes off without a hitch.
All right, thanks. Assuming that applies to metaverse as well, potentially, like maybe later. Well, not right now.
The opportunities are limitless.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joey. Stocks, floor is yours, my friend. Welcome back. How are you? Feel free to unmute your mic, bottom left corner.
Is that me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great, thank you. How are
Hey,
you?
doing real good. I just wanted to mention that you guys are doing a really good job. Great job. The team, the community, the coin is holding strong, and just wanted to mention those things. And I had a few questions. Let's see here. You mentioned is the price at the switchover, is the price going to be the same minus 2 zeros? Did you guys mention something to that effect?
So the consolidation is 10,000 to 1.
Okay.
So it's not going to be 2 zeros. It's going to be 5 zeros. And the price will be the same that it is on V1.
Oh,
So,
okay, 5 zeros. Gotcha. Okay, how about the and that means the holders quantity is going to go down as well too?
I don't think the holder should go down. As long as everyone migrates over, the holder should stay the same.
Okay, so if you have 10 million, you'll still have 10 million. Okay.
Yes.
Ah, okay, cool.
No,
token
he's
wise,
asking about
tokens. Tokens, it's going to be 10,000 to 1 consolidation.
Okay, so the price and the token is 10,000 to 1.
No, not the price.
Not the price, just the token amount.
Yes.
Okay, so the tokens amount. How about the price? Is that going to be consolidated also?
The price is going to be the same as it is right now. So whenever V1 trading stops, it's going to start at that price on all 3 chains.
Oh, I see. So if it's 6 zeros, dot 6 zeros, 8, it'll be the same 6 zeros 8 on the other side.
Well, you'll take 5 zeros off. So the price essentially consolidates with the tokens, but I mean the price isn't going to go 10,000x. So your tokens, let's say your tokens are worth $10,000, your V2 tokens are going to be worth $10,000.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and if there's let's see here, will it be the same? And you said so basically the trading would be what, peer to peer, because it won't be necessarily on an exchange right away?
Yeah, peer to peer. So BNB, Matter, and Ethereum
Oh,
to start.
okay, like the pancake swap and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. And just yeah, I think it has been going along real good, and you're hanging strong with the shaky crypto market, so that's a good sign. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's it.
Awesome. Thanks, Docs. Appreciate it, my
Hey,
friend.
thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Stark, the floor is yours as soon as you connect.
And TJ, I'll jump in with just like DM'd questions. Like right now, there's one that says, after V2, will there be manual burns? The answer to that is no.
Correct.
And I just want to comment on, you know, the removing of the burns for us. Like, if you guys think about it, we're going to be launched on 3 chains simultaneously with the same starting liquidity. We have plans to expand to more chains in the coming months. We're going to need all the tokens that we have. They're, you know, if we end up burning them, it's going to make it incredibly hard for us to continue to add chains. So that's all I'll add to that note.
Yeah, well said, Jen. Stark, the floor is yours, my friend.
Hey guys, how you doing? Hello.
Good, thank you. And yourself?
Doing awesome, man.
Hey, can you hear us? Awesome.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say thank you all for sticking around. Thanks for everyone for not giving up, and thanks to everybody for being patient because it's been a journey. I mean, just yesterday there was like a flash dump and everyone was panicking, and um, shout out to Suresh for coming through, man. Thanks a lot. So I wanted to ask if um there are how big is the priority on going on an exchange? How important is that? I just want to find out in the grand scheme of things, how important is that to the team right now?
For me, personally,
Yeah,
it's the most
yeah,
important. It's one of the most. It's the most important responsibility that I have.
wow,
If that makes sense, what I'm saying, right? Like
yeah,
everyone on the team is responsible for, you know, different things, right? Jen's responsible for marketing. TJ's making sure our messaging and our communication is proper. Guards making sure legally we're compliant. Suresh is making sure all of the development is working. Storm's making sure all of us are doing our roles. But trying to make sure that we have solid partnerships
yeah.
and solid part exchanges where we're able to be traded on. So that my responsibility is trying to bring in partners, exchanges, and gain adoption of our products. I as well as the rest of the team recognize that exchanges bring us into new communities, and with our ecosystem, one which really benefits new, what I call is new locations as an exchange, right? It's a
Yeah,
new touch point for our bridges, right? And there's a tremendous value of tapping new communities in growing our brand and our exposure. So exchanges are very important to us. Getting on an exchange is like, we can go and get on other exchanges now, but it's very important that we go on like the right exchanges. And what I mean by like the right is we want one that has a fiat on ramp. We want one that has a community that resonates really well to what we're doing. I'll give like an
mm,
example. Imagine we
yeah,
show up to an exchange that only has like meme projects on there. Like they want like the whatever flavor, you know, dog point it is that week. And we're not going to be received very well, right? So we want to try and get on an exchange where we're going to be received well, we're going to be marketed by the exchange, and we're going to grow our ecosystem. So yes, it's very important to us.
that's awesome. My next question is, I know one thing I know about this whole team is how dynamic you are. You guys could say one thing today, and then tomorrow you'd be like, "Nah, we're taking a different route because we feel like this is better." And I appreciate that so much because that's how projects will definitely grow. What I wanted to find out is there a possibility of there being like a burn mechanism like later on? Not necessarily a burn and reflection. I know that's like out of the way, but like um, in the future, is it possible that tokens are gonna be burned? Like is that any
Yeah, let me
possibility?
take this.
Like is that
Sure.
completely like off the table, or is it like a possibility that can happen?
Yeah, yeah. Let me explain this. I still have. I can say that there's still a possibility for manual burn in the future. The way I can actually see it as at some point, like if we try to take taxes in the form of rice, see, burning always helps in reducing the supply, which will be very helpful for everybody.
Wow.
At this point, we don't have any taxes in the form of rice, so there is no manual burn possibility right now. We are not gonna manually burn the tokens.
Yeah.
But in the future, if at all, if we try to collect the taxes, I mean, on the D apps in the form of rice, then we can actually think of doing it.
Awesome, man. You just made me really happy,
Yeah,
man.
it's not completely off the table, but yeah. But right now, it's not
That's
possible.
great. That's actually all I wanted to hear. That it's not completely off the table, man. I'm the happiest man alive right now, honestly. All the best to your team, and I wish you all the best. And yeah, best of luck.
Thanks a lot, Stark. Appreciate that, my friend.
Thank you, man.
No, no Strengska. I hope I said that right. No Strengska. The floor is yours. Feel free to unmute your mic on the bottom left corner.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
No worries at all.
Yeah, I actually have a little bit of a technical question about the V2 the wallet there. I have convinced a friend of mine to invest, rightfully so, into EverRise. So he gave me some money, but he is not really technical, so I have invested for him, and I hold, his tokens as well. But in V2, I wonder how, because I want to separate my pot from his. So I wonder, within the wallet, can I make different side of pots, and how many different types of pots can I make and put dates to them? So I want one to be 12 months, I want one to be 6 months, and so forth. So I want to separate, so he gets his reflection and I get mine reflection. Is this possible?
You know what I will say? Oh, Suresh, I saw you unmute your mic. You can go for it.
Yeah, that is how it's gonna work. You can actually, the same wallet, you can split into multiple staking contracts, like 1 month, 2 months, whatever you want. Like you can have multiple 1 months or multiple 2 months. It's up to you. You can create 100 staking contracts for you. So if you want 6 months contract for you and 12 months contract for a friend, yeah, you can still do it.
And question is also, can I also name them? Is there a chance that I can label them, or it's a stupid question maybe, but if I can label them?
Thanks. I mean, let me see. When you guys are asking the requirements, I'm like adding new requirements now. Okay, I haven't thought about this.
I do want to say another thing that you can do is once we start migration on the 23rd with EverMigrate, you could always convert your V1 tokens to V2 tokens and keep them in the same wallet. And then you could open up another wallet that you'll manage for your friend and convert the rest of his V1 token holdings to V2 token holdings. And you can just send it directly to that second wallet. That would make it easier for you to manage.
Yeah, I also thought about that, but I want to keep it into one wallet in case of security, and so I want to keep it in one wallet if possible, so I have control over it. But if I have to, I can split up to different. But I wonder if I can make different pots and that kind of stuff. Then I want to keep it into one wallet.
Yeah, you can do that. And regarding the names, yeah, we'll add it. You can actually name the contracts according to your wish.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I love your work, by the way, and that was my question.
Was a feature
awesome? Well, thanks for the question. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wasso, sorry, did you have something to add?
No, Suresh, was a feature just added right now?
Yes. Yeah, that's what they are asking for the new requirements. I have to code them. I mean, we just need to add it. Yeah, we'll do it.
I swear, every time we do an AMA, Titan builds something new. It's incredible, and it's built in like 5 minutes.
That's
You don't find this everywhere.
that was an awesome
Thanks,
question, man. Thank you.
thanks a lot for your question. No strengths, Ghana. The floor is yours.
Hi, hello guys, hello everyone. I just want to say you guys are doing an amazing job. You've been transparent, and everything you guys are doing, we're kind of following, and we're getting all the information. Not like some other crypto companies out there that we don't even know who they are. So transparency is key. You guys are doing a great job there. I
Thank you.
have two suggestions, and then I have one question.
Absolutely.
Okay. So for the suggestions, like an opinion, I know EverRise is still young, but we want the community want it to be in such a way that in the future it's gonna grow above Binance, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that. The only way you can grow and beat these guys is to be able to do a lot of things that the customers want. One of the things that is making, for example, Binance to be what it is today is ability for other token to be able to write contracts on their network. Everybody is writing contracts on Binance and Ethereum network. I'm suggesting, I'm not saying you guys have to do it right now. Put it on the roadmap. Build a blockchain. Let some other upcoming tokens be able to write contract on our blockchain. It's a future suggestion.
Noted. Thanks, Ghana. I will say, I mean, obviously, this is not in our roadmap in the immediate term, but it's been discussed before, so we have had that conversation.
Okay. The next suggestion is, I know you guys are already working on listing on the exchange. That's fantastic. But based on on-ramp, off-ramp kind of explanation that you guys gave, it will make sense if you can list on recognized exchange, because exchange, like one of your speakers said, is tapping into new communities. There are some specific exchange that only in New York people can use it. There are some specific exchange that only in the Asia or Middle East some people can use it. So what I'm suggesting is, even if it has to be just one exchange, say for example Robinhood, Webull, all that, just one. It might just be one, but the 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 power that it has, it can pull a lot of people. So we don't have to register on 100 exchange, which is as useless as just register on being on just one. So
yeah, well, I'll let you take the exchange stuff.
Keep going. Were you gonna say more?
Okay, so just for the suggestion about the exchange, please register on the exchange that people know, not some exchange that if you call the name, I don't even know what it is.
I hear you.
So that's the suggestion for the exchange. And then the question is about staking. There is a 6% fee to go into staking, and there's a 6% fee to go off staking. So technically, if I pay 6% to stake my coin, my token, let's say I leave it for 12 months. If it grows, whatever it grows with, if I want to unstake it, I want to take it out. If you are charging me 6% at that time, at that stage, it's like whatever you gave me, you're taking it back.
I actually want to clarify, there is no fee for staking. So you aren't charged a 6% fee to create a staking contract, and you're not charged a 6% fee when you remove your tokens from the staking contract.
So what is the 6% about?
So the 6% is our tax across all transactions, buy, sells, and wallet-to-wallet transfers. And it can be broken down into a 4% buyback and stake and 2% project sustainability.
So people need to we need a further explanation of that 6% tax for staking, because
well, there isn't a tax for staking. There's a tax when you purchase Rise, when you sell Rise, and if you transfer Rise wallet to wallet, except for the duration from November 23rd to November 29th for V2 tokens. There will be no taxes for wallet to wallet transfers. Again, you know, V2 is not here yet, but as you guys will see when we release our new white paper and our new website, the 6% fee will be very clearly laid out. And the way it works with staking is the 4% that goes into what we're calling our buyback and staking protocol, is that 4% will go into the buyback wallet. The buyback wallet is now automated on V2, and any tokens that are purchased off the open market via the buyback function will then get sent to stakers.
Okay, so for the staking question, people can you guys make a so for example, now I have 100,000 tokens after consolidation after V2. So the 100,000 tokens, I put it in for 12 months. So if I put it in for 12 months, after 12 months, what happens to the price and the volume? Does the price get affected, or does the price go with the market price, or does it have a different control? Does it have a different operations or workings on its own?
All right, so you said you have 100,000 tokens. If you put your 100,000 tokens into a staking contract, those 100,000 tokens are going to be locked for 12 months.
Yes.
So the amount of tokens that you end up with at the end of 12 months is the amount that you've collected through the staking pool. So let me give just a rough number. Let's just say you get an extra 10, hypothetically. Okay. You will exit the staking pool with 110,000.
Okay.
Okay. There's no tax to get off. There's no tax to get on. So you send 100 in, 100 shows up. You leave with 110, 110 leaves. Now the price of the Rise is going to be whatever it is at the time you exit, right? It has nothing to do with the price when it started. All that matters is the quantity of tokens.
Oh, okay.
You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Okay. All right.
It's a good idea, friend.
Yeah. All right. That will be all for now. I'll step down for the next speaker.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Gunnar. Kryptonian, the floor is yours. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. I would like to thank everybody for this AMA and all the answers you've been giving us, all the dedication from the team, because I've been here for day 2, and I never doubted. Even yesterday, I was talking to this friend who I made him actually invest in Rise, and he was talking about dip, and I told him, hey, we're here to invest in the team, and I've been investing. I invest in the team, and I love the team, and I know there is a future for this team. That's for sure. So I won't take a lot of your time. I have a question to Titan. It's regarding actually blockchains, like blockchains we can migrate to. And one my question is actually, is it possible with the programming, the code writing you've been doing on Solidity, is it possible to switch one day maybe to a programming language such as Haskell or something based on Lisp, because it's not the same how can I say that, the same concept, because one is oriented object and the other one is more human readable, more Turing incomplete. So basically that's my question. Is it possible, like in the future, to have this kind of migration to another blockchain that works on with another coding language or programming language? That's it. Thank you.
I mean, yes, it is possible to sort of bridge to one of those. I mean, obviously Haskell is an extremely difficult language to use in production. So like, I don't know, Titan is the best person to, I don't know if Titan has like secret coding skills in Haskell, but it's normally not sort of really necessary to get to that level of complexity. But I mean, it is possible to get to a different, to a chain that is in a different language. It's obviously a little harder. So if there is like kind of the more low hanging fruit are the ones that are in Solidity. But there's nothing really to stop. I mean, obviously Titan is a great coder. And our technical lead Ben is also a fantastic, like really incredible, technically advanced people. And I have no doubt that they could, like, if they don't already know, like, I don't know, Rust or whatever, I'm sure they can pick it up reasonably quickly. So it's possible, but it's obviously more of a headache. But Haskell is like a league of its own in terms of headaches. So like Cardano, which I think is maybe the only one that's been done in Haskell, is, I think, a little while away. But they don't even have a smart contract capacity yet, so it's not really necessary now.
That's a good question. Thank you. Thank you, Juan.
Awesome. Thank you. Hoj Historian, the floor is yours.
I know this guy.
How's it going? Aha. I'll let you take this, Was.
How are you, man? Hoj Historian, can you hear us?
You might need to unmute your mic in the bottom left-hand corner.
In the meantime, I'll invite Sushil up to speak. Hey, Sushil.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely.
Thanks
for being here.
Absolutely, man. I've been holding this since the day one. So I just want to iterate that I'm very impressed with the work that we've been doing, and the teamwork is fantastic. Just shout out to the team for making it possible. I just have a quick question for Titan, man. How are you coding everything so quick? It's amazing the way the speed and the accuracy on coding. I just want to give out a big applause. I mean, for your work, man, because I have never seen anything like this before. So that's all I have.
I don't know. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, thank you, man. I don't know what to say.
Here, I have a question. Suresh, do you know how many words a minute you can type? Because I've seen you type on your keyboard before, and it's just the speed that your fingers move is insane.
I mean, I've been working in this computer world, right? The software field. Most of my time is on the computer, so yeah.
I mean, I've said it before.
Anyway.
I'll say it again. We have, I think, one of the most brilliant developers in all of crypto at EverRise. Just the sheer talent and speed that Titan can get things done is, I haven't seen anything like it personally. That's what drew me to EverRise at the very beginning, and the products that him and his team have been able to pump out for us is, I mean, they're first to market. They're one of a kind. And if we develop something similar like a bridge, we do something better. We do something that no one else is doing. So he is brilliant.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to add as well, is that he doesn't just code. Like a lot of people in this space just kind of copy paste. So they want to do a bridge, they go take, you know, whoever did a bridge in Solidity, and then they just copy paste it and like kind of change the names. And you can still see like there's there's some unfortunate smart contracts out there that if you actually go and read them, like they still sometimes show the names of previous tokens and stuff like that. So, and I mean, part of that is, of course, like if you do find a little bit of really tight code, then you may as well copy that little bit. But if you just copy the whole thing, then like what development work did you actually do? But with us, it's different. Like we wanted a bridge. Tyson made a bridge from scratch with a different mechanism to all the other ones out there. So it was like coded differently. And the reason he did that is because, and this is like a hobby for me now. So every time I see a bridge, every time I see a big hack, I always look and I always go and see whether it was the bridge that was hacked. Quite often it was. And I always go and see how it was hacked. And it's always hacked through the minting function. And that's why Titan coded a bridge that does not have a minting function so that it can't be hacked in that way. And I mean, it's just common sense. Like you plug the holes that are there rather than just copy paste what other people are doing. And the fact that he can do it so quickly is incredible. It really is quite something to behold.
Totally. I'll end this off by saying, just remember how EverRise started. I mean, I say we, but Titan invented the crypto buyback, which has been forked over 2,000 times now. I mean, we pump out original products. We're not here to copy. We're not here to fork. We do things our own way. We're trying to change the game. We've done it many times, and we're going to continue doing that. So thanks to Shill for pointing that out. Giving where credit's due.
I have a one more thing, if you don't mind.
Of course, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I use Twitter a lot, and I've seen people actually kind of complaining on Twitter that their money was stolen, and somebody sent like some coin into their wallet and then drained the entire funding from the wallet. So looking at the current situation and then the priority wise, I would really appreciate if we can actually get the Everlock. I think that's gonna save a lot of money from a lot of people, because I know not a lot of people are technical. They click on different things while their wallets are open, and they and then it creates a lot of problems. That's just my opinion, because I've been seeing that on Twitter, and a lot of my friends on Twitter actually also kind of complaining that their fund was drained from their wallet. So I'm just thinking, I don't know when. I know there are priorities on team as well, but that's just to put.
Think I lost you there, but I mean, yeah, that's why we're developing EverWallet. It's meant to stop things like that. But in the interim, the most important thing, if you see a token appear in your wallet that you did not buy, don't interact with it. Don't import it into PancakeSwap. Just leave it. Hide it from Trust Wallet. Hide it from MetaMask, and forget it exists. Because dust attacks, that's what it's called, is a very common thing. Unfortunately, there's people in this world who are thieves, and we can't do anything about it. So the best practice is, if you don't recognize it, hide it, forget about it, just leave it alone. But thanks to Shill, appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Hoj Historian. Yeah, no, our pleasure. Hoj Historian, I see you requested again. We'll give this another shot. Waso, I'll let you take this. Hey, Hoj Historian, how's it going? Hey. I saw you unmuted for a quick second. Oh, there you go.
Hey, what's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. What's up, Waso? It's good to see you, man.
What's going on? How are you, man?
Doing very, very well. I appreciate y'all having me up here to speak. I'm a first time in the spaces, but I'm a longtime friend of the project. Me and Waso, we go way back. He'll tell you some crazy war stories from back in the day, I'm sure, if you ask him. I think I know that. Sorry, I saw you come off mute, Waso. Did you want to say something, man?
No, I wanted to give everyone some context. Hoj Historian is one of the most respected community contributors to the Hoj community, and a very, very technical library of just support. And he's been a good friend to me for a very long time, man. So go ahead.
Too kind, man. You're too kind, getting me all teared up over here, man. So yeah, I mean, I know a lot of folks, at least probably on your team, if not in your community, saw that the Hoj official Twitter, and people in the community are really, weighing, basically adopting EverOwn and having the contract custody, basically transferred over, and so that we have, we're thinking about using EverOwn pretty much. And we're having all these discussions, and what's really clear is that people are just not on the same page, I guess, about what it's doing. So I just wanted to ask a few clarification questions so that we can make these kind of, inter-community discussions a little bit more productive, because people just don't know what they're talking about. So I guess a couple questions I wanted to ask is, the first one is, I guess, so how does the voting process work? Is there a way that the DApp or the smart contract enforces the results of the vote? That's the first question I got.
Suresh, I'd like you to please answer this, my friend.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the way the voting works is something like, so once the contract is locked, whenever the dev wants the ownership back, he comes to the DApp, he connects his wallet, and also he'll have a separate login account for him. So he has to log in with his account. Then once it is logged in and the account is connected, there'll be a button which says that reclaim ownership, to get the voting. As soon as you click, what happens is we go and fetch the snapshot of all the holders and store it in the backend. Why we are doing this is because once the voting is created, we want to make sure that nothing is changed. Because what I mean by nothing is changed, like nobody can actually buy the tokens after the voting is created and participate in the voting. And also we want to make sure that voters doesn't need to pay anything with respect to gas fee or anything, like even for the voting. If you maintain everything, if you try to validate from the blockchain, they have to interact with the contract and they have to pay the gas fee. So we want to make sure that none of the voters need to pay anything, like zero. So we actually take the snapshot and store it in the Amazon S3 bucket. And once the voting is started, and the voting is actually the minimum holding, minimum requirement is like 24 hours is the voting requirement. The vote needs to run. You can actually have it for 24 hours or like 1 week. So the people can use their wallet. We check for the validation whether the wallet has any tokens or not. And also we see that in the snapshot, whether they have any kind of tokens or not. What is the weightage? Like we just take that percentage, the number of tokens with respect to the percentage. So they just vote on that. The only thing is we are not looking for any kind of minimum threshold, like, okay, this 10% needs to be vote or 20%, because it's very hard for the people to convince them to come and vote. So we are actually taking whoever votes, we just take the majority, whether it is yes or no. Simple answer. So once the voting is finished, the polling ends, the developer has to log into the DApp again. There will be an option to close the poll. As soon as he clicks on the close the poll, the result is automatically calculated based on the result. If it is yes, the ownership is automatically transferred back to the developer. And at any point, everybody can see how much is voted, or how much is the vote yes percentage, or how much is the no percentage. Everybody can see like what is the vote priority of a specific holder. You can actually search for a given holder. What did he vote, whether yes or no? So you can actually see like how are the whales doing it, or how are the other people are actually supporting it. You'll have all the data. So with respect to the ownership, going back to the developer, even though we are actually maintaining that the EverOwn has the ownership initially, we cannot take the ownership to ourselves. We can only trigger a function which can actually send the ownership back to the previous owner, which means the developer. So at any point, like this completely secure, even suppose, for example, if EverOwn is hacked, for example, and we have like thousands of projects listed, and the maximum what they can do is they can trigger the functions which will transfer the ownerships back to the developers. The hacker cannot take the ownership, or even we cannot take the ownership. We only maintain a system where it triggers the functions.
Gotcha.
So I hope.
Yeah, no, that's super helpful. That makes a lot of different things really clear for me. I just really quick follow up then. I know you said that. Oh, I guess two follow up questions. First one is I was looking at the DApp website, the EverRise.finance one, where Everone is, and I did notice the what you described, like that there's like a dev link that's like in the top right hand corner. And first question, kind of a mini question. I noticed with that. That you have them put in the contract address and then you have them put in a password. Is there a reason, I guess, that the developer's not authenticating via MetaMask or like via their wallet? Or is that combined with the password? Like, is the password like multi-factor authentication? I guess yeah, I think you get kind of what I'm saying is or do they authenticate via the password or do they authenticate via their wallet MetaMask, or they do it with both?
Yeah, this kind of, you can think it as like two-factor authentication, even though we're not using any kind of other external things. They have to connect their wallet at the same time. They have to use the username password. It's kind of two authentication mechanisms. If for some reason, if your wallet is compromised, if somebody got access to your wallet and the ownership of the contract is still with your own, even though he has the access to your wallet, he can still come to the portal, he can connect to it. If he doesn't know the password, he will not be able to take the ownership back.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like if you enforced people having to use a private key and password for them to like log into SSH. It kind of sounds like that makes sense. I think that makes a lot of sense. I guess the final question I got. I appreciate. I want to respect everyone's time. I appreciate y'all letting me ask these many questions. I know you said that the votes are stored. It's off chain. It's in a backend database. How is then the transfer ownership function? How is that called? Do you have is there like a cloud server, and then like based on the result of the vote, then either Boolean yes or no, true or false, we'll send it. I guess I don't know if that part of my question makes sense, but yeah, how is that process initiated, and how
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whatever you said, like it will be a Boolean value, whether it is yes or no kind of thing. We'll just, all the voting results will be maintained in the backend with Amazon Cloud. So we just take the result, we see whether the vote is successful or not. If it is successful, we call a smart contract, which is the our own contract, where there will be a function which accepts the parameter as true or false. As soon as you get the true, the smart contract takes care of transferring back the ownership. I hope it answered the question.
Or sorry, I was on mute. Titan, can you say the last thing you just said? You cut out.
Yeah, so what I said is like the voting results, everything is in the back end. So finally, whenever we are ready to transfer the ownership, or like when we are not ready, everything is decided based on the result. So from the result, if the answer is yes, we pass a Boolean value to the smart contract, which is on the blockchain. So the smart contract transfers the ownership if the value passed is true.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. I appreciate the answers.
Do you have any other
Awesome.
questions, man? I'll definitely say everyone here knows that I came from the Hoj community, and I'm a big believer in the Everown product, and I definitely would like to see the Hoj community here. So I'm hoping you could give me some feedback.
Also, I just want to reiterate, like even though you are from Hoj community, Hoj is the one which brought me into this DeFi space.
Yeah.
My first transaction is with Hoj.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's awesome.
Because of that, I entered to the ETH or BSC. I mean, I never knew about all these Ethereum chain or BSC. I never traded anything, just because I saw some article on the Hoj saying that it went up like 1000x or 10,000x, and all those zeros. I was actually wondered like, what can a coin price will have like those many zeros? Will it? I mean, like that's what interested me. Like that was my first buy actually. Hoj.
That's when you got hooked, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, man. So historian, give us.
You guys really spoiled me.
I'm sorry, Suresh. Go ahead.
You guys spoiled me, basically.
Huge.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I appreciate it. It means a lot coming from you.
So historian, tell us. I gave you a very warm intro. Everyone here knows, based on the questions you've asked, you have a very good understanding of how the product works. Tell me what you think.
I think, I said this before. I think this is a really interesting project. I like how y'all are trying to innovate the security space a lot. There's some things that I'm still thinking about in terms of how to make the process more trustless. Obviously, I think there's probably updates that y'all will be doing in the future. But I'm excited because it seems like there's a lot of people on both sides who are interested to see what this could possibly bring. So I think I might be just excited to see what happens.
All right, that sounds good, man. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. If not, we'll let somebody else up. But it was good hearing your voice, man.
Absolutely, I appreciate y'all.
Should maybe jump in here just to say that Jen had to hop off and do some marketing work, but she sends everybody her regards.
All right, TJ, do we have anyone with their hand raised?
Yes, Jay, the floor is yours, my friend. As soon as it connects, feel free to unmute your mic. Also, guys, if you want to send Waso a DM with a question, he'll do a rapid fire question and answer at the end. Hey, Jay, how's it going? Jay, you there? Seems to be a little bit of an error. Crypto Will, I'll add you as a speaker in the meantime. Waso, you getting any DMs with questions?
Yes, I have a couple. So I actually have a comment. It said, Waso, if you can please explain to the guy from Hoj the benefit of EverOwn to the devs. So historian, if you're listening, I'm very familiar with the Hoj contract, and the only function there is the ability to exclude a wallet from getting reflections. So think of it a way as Hoj has always been trying to implement DAO like methodology and just really a DAO system where they'll let the community vote. Imagine when an exchange shows up, you can put it up for vote on EverOwn, let the community know that there's a vote up, and they can go and they could vote if they want to get listed on that exchange. If the majority votes yes, the contract will unlock. You guys can go list on the exchange and exclude that exchange from receiving reflections. So this is just, something not mentioned, but a function of EverOwn that could be used specifically within the Hoj community. Another question we got is, when is the last day of trading? And that's going to be the 23rd. That's correct, right, TJ?
Correct.
Are you planning on registering patents for EverRise products? I believe that's a question for Alex or Titan.
No comment.
Yeah, we're not thinking about it right now. I mean, the way the software works is different rather than the, I mean, right now that we're not even thinking, we'll just build it. I mean, we'll see if there is any possibility. We'll just try to explore if there is a possibility in the future.
Yeah, and we'll probably leave it at that. So no further comment on that. But it's an option that we consider actively.
Awesome. Crypto Will, I see you've connected. If you want to unmute your mic, the floor is yours.
Hello? Yeah, hi. I had a
Hey, Will, how's it going?
question. I actually just sent a DM to Waso, but I'll say it on here anyway. The first one is, are you guys gonna have anything as far as anti-whale transaction limit, like some of the coins have? The second question is, what was the second question? Yeah, so do you guys possibly see after migration to V2 a price of at least a dollar maybe by the end of the year? What the thoughts is on that? And third question, which I forgot, but I have to go back and see right here. Oh, are you guys gonna possibly become a payment gateway between credit card and crypto? Those are the three questions that I think.
Of those last two questions, the answer really has to be we can't say anything. The only thing we can say about price is we can observe the kind of state of the world as it is. So I could tell you what the price is right now, but you could just go and see it for yourself. We can't say anything about what it's going to be, whether it's going to go up or down, or it's really beyond our control. It's completely the market. As to whether we'll provide any kind of money services, then the answer is we might, as long as we have the right sort of regulatory framework for it. But it's not but we can't say like yes or no at this stage.
Okay, and that first question was, will you guys be adding anything as far as anti-whale transaction limit? Because that's one of the reasons why some of these coins take such a dip and everybody goes into panic selling. That would curb as far as selling, but would you guys be adding that anytime in the future?
Yeah, let me take this. So regarding anti-bots, we can actually add, but I am completely against putting any kind of restrictions for anti-whale kind of things, because see, whales are the ones who drives the price up. Like they are also like investor. We cannot really limit one investor not to sell in such a way that it should be for everybody, not just for whale. Suppose if you have a restriction, that restriction should be for everyone, not just for like a couple of whales who has large bags. I mean, I really do not like that idea of limiting a couple of people just because they invested more or something, but we'll have protections for the project altogether in the whole, like the max transaction limit will be there, and also any kind of whatever the restriction what we're putting, it will be for the project, not for a specific kind of whales. Or I mean, there is no anti-whale in simply, like I can say, but anti-bot, yes, because that is because of the project, that is with respect to the project, so we take care of the anti-bot production, but not for the anti-whale. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like
There's no max transaction limit.
No, there is max transaction limit for everybody. It's not just for whale. Like there is a limit of how much you can actually buy at in a single transaction, or how much you can sell in a single transaction. But we can't just specifically say that, hey, this whale has so much of bag, so we need to control him in such a way that he cannot dump the entire bag. And we don't want to put those kinds of restrictions. It should be completely free market. Anybody can trade. If at all, if there is a restriction, it should be for the entire project, whether it is a whale or even for the small person. All of a sudden, he wants to buy more. Anything is possible. So
Awesome.
yeah, and
hope that answered your question.
I think we actually provide in the document, the blog yesterday, the max transaction is 0.01% or 0.1%, I believe. I don't remember it, but yeah, it is mentioned in the document.
And do you guys have anything as far as buyback?
Buyback is completely automatic. It's based on certain kind of volume parameters. It will be triggered. So yeah, once the code is released, I think you will get your answers for the buyback, how it works.
Okay.
It's essentially buyback 2.0.
Yeah.
And buyback is that was Titan's brainchild. So if you want to know whether we have this famous thing, then the answer is yes, we invented it.
Okay, thank you. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
Thank you, Will. Cool kids, I've added you as a speaker. So feel free to ask your question.
Hello. Hey, yeah, thanks for everything, everybody. My question was about is the roadmap for going from V1 to V2? I know you said on the 23rd the trading would stop for V1. I just wondered, what's the, like, how me as a holder of V1, how am I going to get over to V2 and then do the staking? And would that be, is that already out in the Telegram, in the pin messages? And if not, will that be given in the newsletter, or where's the best place to get updates on that?
So we'll provide all updates in Telegram, on our blog, on our website, on Twitter. Everything's going to be very crystal clear. As far as migrating your tokens, it's going to be as simple as essentially one click. We're building EverMigrate so that everything can go down seamlessly. So that's not going to be an issue at all. And sorry, your second question, I know there was a second part of that.
I was really just asking about what you just said. Really, I was just wanting to get more details on how the migration was going to happen, what I needed to do, or what anyone would need to do from going from V1 to V2. And with that, so because you guys are you're removing the burn feature, so does that mean that the Kraken will no longer be there in V2?
No, the Kraken is going to be there, but it's going to be automated, so it's not going to be manually triggered anymore. Gotcha. And more details about how that buyback is going to work will be released as well.
Okay, so like the parameters for how the Kraken will work in automation mode will be outlined in, you're saying, in that stuff?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Everything we ever do will be outlined. You know, we've always been very transparent from the beginning.
Sure.
We will always remain transparent. And there's a lot of ways that people can essentially find our messaging, whether that be on our website or Telegram or Discord or Twitter, Instagram. Whenever there's something super important like migration, it will be blasted everywhere. I mean, you wouldn't be able to go anywhere without seeing it. So we'll make sure that's outlined very clearly.
Gotcha. So on the 23rd, that's when that information will be released or whatever? Because you're saying the trading will stop for V1?
Yes. Okay. The info might be released a little bit sooner, but the EverMigrate DApp will be released so that you can migrate over and stake come the 23rd.
Got you. And then you said the EverBridge will come after. That will come after the V2 is launched on the 29th.
No. Even the bridge will be live on the same day along with migration.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks
for
everything.
The 23rd is a big day.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Right before Thanksgiving, huh?
Absolutely.
Well, in America, anyways. Yeah. All right. Yes. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much for attending and asking questions. We appreciate it.
Sure.
Paulo, the floor is yours. How's it going, Paul? You might have to unmute your mic on the bottom left-hand corner.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yes, sir. How's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Great, thank you.
Yeah, just real quick. My question is about the bridges. It's kind of a multi-part question, but basically, what is a bridge? What makes our bridge unique? What does a bridge mean to Rise holders and other projects? And how is the Rise token going to be used in reference to the bridge?
Suresh, you want to take this?
Yeah, I mean, he asked like 4 questions. I mean, I think I have to go one by one. What is a bridge? Yeah, bridge is simple, like it's connection between 2 chains from BSC to ETH or ETH to Poly. So where you can actually take your token from one chain to another. But the way it works is, in reality, even though we are saying you can take your token from one chain to another, it's not the same token you are taking. It will be a different token for each chain. So when we're going from one chain to another chain on the bridge, what we'll be doing is we take your tokens, lock your tokens on the BSC side. Once you go there, you'll be getting the new tokens from the ETH chain. So, and again, when you want to come back, you will lock your tokens there on the ETH, and we release the tokens from the BSC. So this is how it works. And how are we different from the other bridges? That is mainly like most of the bridges, they use the mint function, like whenever, as we said, when you are going from BSC to ETH, what they do is you log the tokens on the BSC, and on the ETH side, they mint new tokens. And again, when you want to come back to BSC side from ETH, they will burn those tokens and they will release these tokens. And when you're doing the mint or burn, what happens is there'll be a couple of, everything will be done on the blockchain, right? So there'll be a couple of validators who validates their transaction. For that reason, it might take a lot of time. So one example is, when we try to go from ETH to Poly, suppose if you want to transfer Matic, they say that it takes approximately 8 minutes to go from ETH to Poly if you want to transfer the Matic. But with our bridge, what we're saying is we don't have any kind of validators where somebody needs to come and validate, because everything is logged and unlocked. So we lock here and we unlock the tokens from the other side. So each chain will have a vault where all the tokens are maintained. The vault takes care of releasing the tokens or locking the tokens. Because of this kind of mechanism, we can actually get the tokens pretty fast. When we tested, we got like the average time is like 10 seconds. Even if it takes like a couple of, occasionally I have seen 1 minute, but it's still better than whatever you see the other bridges. So I forgot the fourth question. Anything else?
Paul, did that answer your questions?
Oh yeah, definitely. I guess my final question about it was, how does the Rise token play a part in the bridges? How are they going to be used? Just basically, how are they going to be used in regards to the bridges? That's it.
Yeah, that is main important thing for our EverRise ecosystem, where if any project wants to participate in the bridge, either they need to hold Rise, the user needs to hold Rise, or we are coming up with a plan of, if the project holds some amount of Rise, then the users can actually transfer the token. We are just still discussing on that. This is one aspect. The other aspect is, in the future, we'll be having this native currency transfer, like from BNB to ETH or BNB to Matic. If you want to transfer, we can use this bridge in the background in such a way that we buy the BNB Rise pair on the BSC side and sell the Rise ETH pair on the ETH side and give the ETH. So we want to make sure that is the reason why we are having this equal liquidity pools across all the chains, so that we can support the native token transfer, because the price will be pretty close to each other through the arbitrage opportunities. So we'll be seeing lots and lots of volume once we enable the native currency, even though you might not see much of price differences, but the volume will be huge. What I mean to say, when there are no holders with respect to the Rise, we can still see the volume based on the native currency transfer. Hope that explains.
Sounds good. Thanks for everything.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Miami Crypto Kid, the floor is yours. You might have to unmute your mic. Miami Crypto Kid, you there? In the meantime, I see Jay requested again, so I've allowed you to speak, Jay. So whichever one of you two gentlemen.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, Miami Crypto Kid, I can hear you. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Great, thank you, and yourself?
All right, buddy. I just have a small little question. It's regarding staking, because I actually plan to just go ahead and lock all my tokens up for the year. It's the rewards for staking. Is it a fixed percentage, or is it like it's going to be variable based on trading and volume and stuff?
Yes, it's based on volume and trading. The longer you lock them up, the higher percent essentially that you would get of the stake. So If you lock for 12 months, you're going to get 12 times the amount of tokens every time they're distributed, as opposed to if you locked for 1 month.
And do you have like an approximate number? Like if you're talking about return as a percentage, is there such a number, or just there's no specific formula?
There's no specific formula, just because it's volume based, so it's highly dependent on volume.
So the higher
Actually,
the volume,
it's entirely dependent on volume.
Entirely. Okay, perfect. All right, buddy. That's all I needed, man. Thank you, man. Great team, guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Jay, how's it?
Hello.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Doing all right, thanks. I had one question I sent to Waso about the Kraken. I think you might have kind of just answered it. As far as the reflections, well, not reflections, the staking. I was just wondering, was it going to be 100% of that 4% goes to the stakers immediately, or if there was going to be like a reserve pot still?
I believe it goes immediately. Titan, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 4% of all the transactions are distributed to stakers. I think it's right away.
No, it's not like immediate. So we actually collect the 4% on each buy and sell, and that will be converted to BNB, like how we are doing right now. It will be stored under the contract. Whenever the buyback happens, it takes a portion of the amount, buys the tokens, and sends it to the staking contract.
Okay.
So if we have like multiple buybacks during the day, then multiple times people will get those tokens. If you have only one buyback during the entire day, you'll only get 110 on that day.
Okay. And then I have one more question as far as getting listed on an exchange. If we do get listed on an exchange that supports the tokenomics, as far as those rewards going back to stakers, like would we get rewards for their trading activity if they support our tokenomics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So how would that be split between, because obviously I guess they wouldn't be on any chain. So how would that be?
Yeah, they can only, yeah, I get your point. When we have like 3 chains, the exchange can only like have one contract. For example, if we just pass the ETH contract, they will just pass back the rewards to the ETH address.
Okay. Okay. That was it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shay. And we'll take the last question from Anju, I believe. And then Waso, you can do a rapid fire round. Hey, Andrew, how's it going?
Is regarding the Ever Wallet, when it is planning to launch, and whether the wallet will be an Ever Wallet will be an alternative to Trust Wallet, or will be entirely different.
No, it's not alternative to Trust Wallet. Ever Wallet, it is a DApp again, same like whatever all the DApps that will work with MetaMask or Trust Wallet. But when you look at the user interface for the wallet, it will look exactly like a wallet, but actually it's a DApp where it maintains all the tokens, where we are trying to make sure that all these just attacks, like, because we cannot actually stop if somebody is sending a token, but what we can do is we can actually filter it out while displaying to the user so that they don't even need to know what they got into their account. That way we're trying to limit it. Along with that, we'll have some other extra functionalities for the wallet.
Yeah,
So
whether we'll be able to connect the pancake swap and all.
yes, I mean, you don't need to connect. The wallet automatically tries to whatever the swap exchange you want, like whether it is pancake swap or uniswap or so anything, like you can just select the exchange you want.
Okay.
The wallet takes care of connectivity.
So basically all the present Trust Wallet we can copy to the Ever Wallet.
No, the tokens will be in the Ever Wallet whenever you buy or sell. It won't be in your Trust Wallet. But if you want to transfer out of the Ever Wallet, you can still do that. But the main reason why we want to put in the Ever Wallet is, even if your Trust Wallet is compromised, people cannot actually take your tokens because no token is present in your Trust Wallet.
Yeah, no,
So
presently our tokens are in Trust Wallet. So after the release of the EverWallet, whether we will be able to transfer that to EverWallet freely, or whether there will be some charges?
For Rise, we can try to have free, but I mean, the EverWallet supports all the ERC20 tokens, so not just Rise.
Okay.
But for the other tokens, we cannot control the fee, but for Rise, we can see.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I was muted there. Thanks, Andrew. Waso, do you want to do some rapid fire questions before we close this out?
Yeah, let's do it. Suresh, this one's for you. Currently, all of our dApps are on a website. Is there a plan to build a app where we'll be able to interact with EverWallet along with the other dApps?
I mean, when we say website, even when you say app, it has to have all the apps. Currently, I mean, whatever we have the website like EverRise.finance, we will remove that. We'll have another subdomain for the EverRise.com itself. Like we can actually have like app.everrise.com where you can see all the apps at one place.
Got it. Next question. What frequency will the staking rewards be distributed? So staking rewards will be distributed on every Kraken buy. So whenever the Kraken is triggered, it will buy, send the rewards to the stakers, and those rewards are not locked in the staking pool. They can be withdrawn. Next question, let's see. Is it possible to put migration to V2 on a YouTube video for non-IT guys like me? Yeah, we are working on putting together a very detailed infographic as well as a video. And like TJ said earlier, please make sure everyone checks out our blog section on our website, everrise.com. For me, that's the best place to get information. Let's see, what other ones do we have? Will EverBridge be made to support all the chains? Yes, so every chain where Rise exists will have a bridge to it. Let's see. I think that's all the questions I have, TJ.
All right, cool. Well, with that said, I'm going to publish a tweet right now from EverRise, and it would be great if everyone can go leave a comment, retweet, and like it. It's our EverOwn promotional tweet, letting projects know that EverOwn is free until November 29th. Keep in mind the projects will still need to hold 100 billion Rise in order to initiate a vote on EverOwn, but we've waived the 12 BNB fee, so feel free to comment under it, like it, tag projects and whatnot, share it as much as you can. This is a big promotion. We're doing it just to promote the launch essentially of V2, bring more security and safety to the space, and we're very excited. So the tweet just went live, everyone. Feel free to blow that up. And without further ado, I believe that's everything for today. If anyone has anything to say closing statement wise, otherwise we'll get back to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk soon. You know where to find us, and we look forward to the next one. Take care, guys. Have a great day.